Hi everyone, so I've just completed week 8 of my training for my Royal Parks half marathon. The weeks are whizzing by now, it's getting a little bit scary. We're way past the halfway mark of the school holiday, so there's just 2 weeks left to go. I'm feeling, if I'm honest, really deflated today. This week's training has been, it hasn't even been really that it's been that bad. This phase was meant to be all about me getting quicker, and from the get-go, from Tuesday, my first run, it just did not happen. It was meant to be a fast run, and I couldn't even manage a 4.5 mile run without needing to walk. I just feel like I'm putting so much pressure on myself to get quicker, and maybe I'm not actually capable of it because I'm not rolling my calf muscles. Have you tried rolling sore muscles? It's agony. I actually want to cry. Who would want to do that? It really hurts. I can't lie about it. It really does. The rest of my muscles, fine. I can roll to my heart's content, but these calf muscles are so sore and they are really hindering my runs. Well, I don't even think it's just them hindering it. I think it's my mental state. I just feel like I'm slipping out of the zone after being in the zone for so long and trying to be positive all the time at the end of the week. I just feel really sad. The grand scheme of things is that this training is just training to run. Yeah, it's tough, but it's not as tough as what some of the people out there have had to go through, which is half the reason I'm doing this run, is, for raising money for Target Ovarian Cancer, which, they're going through a much tougher time than me. So why can I not get my mental state in the zone? I can blame all these things, but the fact is, it's only me that can change that. It's only me that can turn, these things into positives. I need to pull myself together. I've got a really good week to look forward to next week. Anyway, this is a bit of a recap of the runs I've done this week. On Tuesday I had to run 4.5 miles and it was meant to be a tempo run and it did not happen. I couldn't get the speed, or I could get the speed, so at some points I was running 8-minute miles and I needed to do 8.5, but I couldn't maintain it. I could not keep that going for long enough. So then I was needing to walk. Ended up being a bit of a fartlek training session, I'd say, because I was running to, I was mentally telling myself, right, run to that post and then rest and walk a little bit, which is what I ended up doing. I did run on a really full tummy because I had just not long eaten my dinner, and I usually run in the morning fasted, so I need to get better at doing that because there are going to be occasions where I have to train in the evening. Then I had a couple of days off so that I could go and see my friend, and then when I come back on the Friday I'd planned to do a run. I nearly talked myself out of it, but I ended up taking my sister's dog out. It was meant to be 4.5 miles. I only did just over 3, so just a 5k. It wasn't bad though, the speed was okay. It wasn't exciting though, it's just, an average run. Then on Saturday I did the park run with Ellie. She hasn't done it for a few weeks, so that was a little bit slow, so another slow run to add to my belt for the week. But again, I wasn't too bothered. I'm getting the miles in. I'd set myself a target to try and reach 20 miles this week. So today, really all I needed to do was 8 miles, but because I had been short of my miles on Friday, I decided to try and stretch it out. You can see from the video clips how this went. It wasn't my finest hour. It wasn't a horrendous run. I was enjoying it at parts, but I just feel disappointed with myself that I couldn't keep going without stopping to walk, and that I couldn't keep my normal 10-minute mile pace going throughout the whole run. It just, yeah, quite disappointing really.
So this is the nice part of this route, running through farm track and up to the ford. My calves have eased off and it's about 3 miles. They're still sore, but maybe I'm thinking I need to do a slow 3 mile warm up. My pace was a little over 10 minutes. It was about 10.5 minutes for most of the first 3 miles. But it's a bit quicker now, so it's kind of what I wanted to practice, and it's like I am. Right, so I've got to 6 miles. My dilemma is, do I do the 8 I'm supposed to do, or the 9 and a bit to reach my 20 miles for the week? Decisions, because I've got to go left or straight on. Yep. So I went left, which is going to be the shorter version. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do the shorter version, it just means I really didn't like the idea of running through town again. It's so boring. So I can see how far it takes me time and then decide what to tag on at the end and try and do 9.5. I've just got to 8 miles. It's probably not even a mile to home now. Oh, it's so blooming warm. But I'm so close to getting 20 for the week. I need to tag some more. I'm really struggling. I wish I could run in the heat. I actually feel like a pretty shit runner today. I just feel a bit defeated. Sucks, especially when the world is watching. I know none of you are judging me. I'm only judging myself. But bloody hell, I just feel really, really deflated. I've done a lot of walking, not for very long, but I shouldn't be walking at all. I don't normally. I can do this distance. It's the heat, the clothing, the shoes, everything. I'm so cross. 1.5 miles, that's all I need to do. That's nothing. I've done 9 miles. So, I need to be safe. I need to carry on for half a mile to get my 20. I'm this close now, I've got to do it. It's so warm. I'm sat in my bedroom feeling really, really sorry for myself. It was so tough. I used to be able to run better than this. I just feel like I'm getting worse. To actually go quicker was my goal. I just don't seem to be able to do it. I don't think I'm cut out for fast running. It's making me really miserable. I feel really sad. I can't get over how horrible that was. In fact, it wasn't even that it was really horrible. It's just because I'm so disappointed and pissed off with myself that I cannot be consistent with my pace. And I can't get quicker. I couldn't even keep to 10-minute miles, which I know I can do. Oh, so annoyed. Keep going out wearing stupid clothes as well, not feeling prepared. And I say to myself every time, don't do it again. I keep bloody doing it. So this week I thought it would be quite handy, as I think equipment is quite vital to running. I've always been one of these people that just wants to put on their trainers, go out for a run. Don't believe in expensive equipment. I don't believe in spending a fortune on all fancy gear. At the end of the day, running should be free, within reason, because there are a few things that I do think are very important to running, and also there are a few things that I'm going to give a go to see if they help me with my next chapter in my running, because I've spent a lot of years just doing that, just putting my trainers on and going running, and really I wanted to start getting quicker. This week hasn't been the best week for that, but I'm hoping eventually I will, and eventually I will, you know, find the right things that work for me to make me quicker. So when I first started running, I purchased a pair of trainers from Amazon. I'd kind of done my own gait test, if you want to call it, but I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. So I bought a pair of Asics. It wasn't these ones. They were a lovely orange colour, the ones I had. And these are GT1000s. And yeah, they did me good. They did me really well, and I loved them. So I then purchased the same, but obviously, as you can see, a different colour. These did not serve me well. These caused me a lot of problems. I suffered with a knee injury, which was the reason I'd purchased a pair of proper running shoes in the first place, because I had just been going out in normal gym trainers. But these were starting to show signs that my knee injury was returning. So I decided to go and be sensible and get a proper gait test done in a running shop. Basically, they put you in a treadmill and they watch how you run.
I turned out to be a neutral runner after thinking I wasn't a neutral runner at all. I do plan to write a blog about all of this, so I won't go into massive amount of details, otherwise this will be the longest video ever. Purchased a pair of Saucony trainers. It wasn't these ones again, it was a slightly different colour. Anyway, they were brilliant. They were like wearing a pair of socks. It was the best pair of trainers I've ever had. I absolutely loved them. So much so, I then purchased these ones, the exact replica, like even down to the series, you know, I didn't change it. The only change was the colour. And these ones have done me really well as well. Absolutely love them. But I do have noticed recently, obviously, my calves have really been playing up, and I don't know if you can see on here, but they are so worn that they have done far too many miles. I'm absolutely desperate for a new pair of trainers, and I'm quite aware I'm desperate for a new pair of trainers, but like most people, I can't afford a new pair of trainers. Even online, they're going to cost me £70 to get the same ones but in a different colour, and I haven't got that money. I haven't even got a job right now. So I start working, it will be my first purchase. Hopefully I don't injure myself in the meantime. Then I have a pair of trail trainers, which are just these Adidas ones. I absolutely love these. I actually find these more comfortable than my Saucony ones at the minute, but obviously, as you can see, they're quite gripped, so it can be quite hard to run on tarmac. And to be honest, that's all I have around here. It's so blimmin' boring. You can tell how little these have actually been worn because they're still pretty good condition, maybe a bit mucky. They do me well when I go on holiday and go somewhere nice. I do think it's quite important to have some sort of tracking device. You could just go out and run, and obviously you could see what time you left and what time you come back, but you won't necessarily know how far you've gone, and I do think that's quite important. And I'm not sure I could be out running not knowing and not having something to look at. So this was my first ever running watch. It's just a Garmin. It's really old. It's a Forerunner 110. It doesn't do anything fancy other than track your run, but the best thing about it, because it's good at it, because then I upgraded to my Apple Watch, which I can track using Strava. I did think my watch was the culprit for why a lot of my runs, when I'm looking at them, don't seem to tally with what I save at the end, but I now don't think that. I think it's actually Strava. So alongside obviously having a way of tracking your runs, a good thing to have is a way of planning routes and recording, and so I do like Strava. I do think it's good, but it seems like recently a lot of people are complaining about the fact that it's taking minutes off and changing your time, so it makes you feel quicker, but there's no way I can lose 2 minutes just in the upload of uploading my run. A lot easier to press start and stop, whereas this one has a bit of a delay and I end up messing it up every single time. I mess it up. So yeah, that's my race watch. That's just an everyday one. Like me, I like to listen to music, so I have tried so many different types of headphones. None of this is expensive equipment. This is all really cheap. So these are probably the best headphones. They're just cheap JVC ones. They go over your ear so they stay in. This is another set of headphones. These are Bluetooth headphones. So they go into your ear, but to be honest, I find these really big and bulky and they fall out. And also I tested them last week on my run and they only lasted 7 miles. I do think it's probably because I perhaps didn't charge them seconds before I left the house. And these ones I absolutely love. Again, just cheap, go over the head. I thought, oh, you haven't got to worry about them slipping out, but I plait my hair quite a lot and they keep slipping down at the back. They won't stay up unless I've got a ponytail in. So yeah, they're only useful if I've got a ponytail in. Also, I've got my ear pierced up the top here, and that's started to get really sore, and I think it's because this is pressing onto them. So the next thing I always take on my runs is my running belt. It fits my phone in there nicely. I can put the park run barcodes in there. I've got a little zip where I can put gels and things like this, or in my case poo bags, because I've been taking dogs out running recently. So yeah, I do like that, but I do find it's a bit irritating sometimes when it spins round. especially when you're racing. It's not ideal, but I'm too tight to spend any more money on anything else. So yeah, I always take my running belt. This is my water holder, but the only problem with that is obviously, as you can see, I can't put my phone in it, so then I end up having to take a running belt and this, but it would be easier to hold my water bottle. I've got a CamelBak on my Christmas wish list because I don't think it's necessary, but I do think it would help if you're doing long distance running, and one day I'd like to at least be able to attempt to do a bit more than a half marathon, and to be able to do that I'm going to need a CamelBak. There's no way I can walk around run around carrying that. I should have taken them today, I didn't. Is some sunglasses. Perfect when it's hot and sunny. Not that we have too many days of those like that, which is probably why I always forget to take them. I've got so many like different types of tops, trousers, you know, I've built up a bit of a collection over time. So socks are very important to me. I got these, believe it or not, in Aldi. Oh, they're absolutely perfect. They're really thick, perfect for long runs. Honestly, I've not found a better sock yet. They're absolutely brilliant. I do have, you know, just your standard trainer socks, but they're so thin and they just fall off your feet all the time, so I do like those. These are a recent purchase, and these are some compression socks. I thought it might help me with my calves, so I haven't really tried them out too much. So yeah, my calves are still hurting even despite wearing these, so we'll see. I haven't given them long enough to try though, but the jury is out on whether they really do work yet. That lots of runners like to use is a roller. I've been using this recently. I used to do it and I wasn't doing it properly, so I actually looked up some proper exercises to try, and I've been using it and I can massively feel the difference, except I cannot roll my calves without wanting to scream in pain. It is so painful. So if anybody's got any tips of other things I can try, because this is really, really painful. It's actually putting me off even doing it. But yeah, a good roller, really good for those tight muscles, for pre and after work runs, and also, you know, throughout the week. Sometimes I'm looking for it. I collected all my running equipment and I was like, my God, why have I got those? So probably a few Christmases ago, my husband got me these compression sleeves for your arms. The main reason actually wasn't even anything to do with what they're meant to do, which is to help circulation and things like that. It was actually just to keep my arms warm, because I can't run in anything but a running vest. But a lot of my races always tend to end up being in November time. So yeah, he bought me those. So I haven't really used them very much. Recently I bought a few new things, which I'm going to show you now, which I haven't tried. So this isn't anything, you know, this is just me showing you what other runners have. These are elasticated cord laces. I don't want to put them on my old trainers. I'm waiting until I get a new pair to try them on. But I do know that these are going to be very helpful, because I struggle with pins and needles, because I can never get my shoelaces tied up the right, you know, they're either too tight or too loose. So to prevent that, I've got these. So basically my feet can, you know, stretch the shoe how it needs to be stretched to be comfortable. So I'm looking forward to trying those when I get a new pair of trainers. This is anti-chafe like balm. It's when I wear shorts, which is what I feel more comfortable running in at the moment, especially while it's hot. I keep getting chafage between my legs, so this I'm hoping is going to work wonders, and I plan to give that a try next time I wear shorts, which will probably be next week. This is just some running tape. I used to see people wearing it all the time. I think, well, why on earth are they taping their legs up in bright coloured tape? What's the point to that? Well, I thought, you know, my calves are really, really hurting. I'm actually going to give it a try. So I wish I'd remembered I had this morning, because I would have put it on, but I forgot. So yeah, I'm going to give that a try. I'll give that a try next week when I try my long run and see if that works. Hoping next week I'm going to be a little bit more positive about my runs and better prepared. I've mapped out some runs on Strava to run while I'm away. So until next week, thanks for listening. Bye.